Hey guys, Jessica here, and what you're looking at is called the Perfect Pedal, and this uses the same hydraulic system as a real vehicle pedal uses, and this retails for about $250 and replaces the brake on the Logitech G25 or the G27. I was using this about a couple weeks ago and it's very sturdy. I mean, it feels like a real pedal. Shaun put a little segment together showing you all about this pedal, how to install it, and his thoughts on it. Here he is.
In a real car, a hydraulic system is used to apply the brake pads on the drums or discs, causing the car to stop. In a hydraulic system, the power of the brakes is a matter of force or speed on the pedal more than the actual movement of the pedal. Most of our sim wheels have pedals that use a spring for pressure or resistance and a potentiometer to measure the movement of the pedal. This is a very accurate way of measuring how much you have moved the pedal, but far from how it works in a real car. Several high-end companies have switched to using load cells instead of a potentiometer. This is much closer to a real-life brake and how it feels, but uses a flexible measuring device to measure both distance and pressure. Much closer to how a real-life brake works, but still not the same. The Perfect Pedal is a hydraulic brake pedal that has a sensor that measures the hydraulic pressure being delivered. This is much closer to how a real-life brake works. This is accomplished by using a shock very similar to what you would see on a mountain bike. As you apply force on the pedal, hydraulic fluid is delivered to a pressure sensor. The harder or faster you apply pressure, the more brake pressure will be applied. This is measuring force, not distance, like a standard potentiometer would have. The shock doubles not only as the pressure delivery system, but also in giving you a feeling that you're accustomed to with a real brake pedal. This shock is calibrated to give you the type of resistance and return that you would get in a real race car. The Perfect Pedal is a direct replacement for the brake pedal on the Logitech G25 or G27. Despite being a very good wheel, the pedal set is minimalistic and easily the weakest part of the Logitech wheel. For me, the brake pedal is the most important of the three down there, and therefore worthy of being replaced. Installation of the Perfect Pedal is fairly easy. The only tools you will need are a Phillips screwdriver and an Allen wrench. The first step is to remove all three pedal plates using the Allen wrench. Then on the bottom, remove the middle 4 black screws to release the brake pedal. Leave the other 8 alone. Then remove all 14 of the silver screws, including the 2 under the carpet grabber. This will free up the upper cover to the pedals with the brake pedal already loose, so do be careful. Now that the cover is removed and the brake pedal is loose, remove the 3 wires connecting the brake, red, white, and black, including the screw that grounds the black wire to the pedal. Now you can remove the old brake and bring in the Perfect Pedal. Attach the 3 wires the same way as they were, red, white, and black, and screw in the ground wire to the pedal as well. Then screw the 4 black screws back in to attach the pedal to the base. Place the cover back on and be very careful to route the wires so they won't be pinched. Install the 14 silver screws, attach the pedal faces, and you're done. Once everything is installed, both the PC and the PS3 will recognize the pedal as the same as it would as a G25 or a G27. I then fired up iRacing, and the controls were already mapped. However, I did then measure the brake pressure within the control menu, and it automatically set it to 0 for load cell. Now I am ready to go out and test this brake pedal out. The first thing you'll notice about the Perfect Pedal is the amount of energy it takes to depress it. So much in fact that I switched to shoes instead of socks to be able to press it lap after lap. Also immediately noticeable is the way it reacts to the game. Having more resistance while braking gives me the ability to start to brake and then apply more as needed, much better than before. You can actually apply pressure, give more or less with the greatest of ease. This ability immediately translated into better ability to brake hard under straight line and slowly let off and trail brake into the corners. I also found it much easier to prejudge the amount of braking needed using force as a gauge rather than distance like I would on a potentiometer. I also found it really worked best at moments when very light braking was needed. Just a bit of pressure, and the car would slow without losing balance. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of the Perfect Pedal. Let's start off with the cons. The first con is the price. At $250, it is actually worth as much as my whole G25 or G27. For one pedal, it's outrageously expensive. The next con is barely even a con, and that's the amount of pressure required. And the only reason that's a con is because you're going to really have to fix these down, mount them in a rig, or something along those lines. In other words, you can completely forget about those carpet grippers. Now on to the pros. This is the most realistic pedal I have ever used. You can feel the hydraulics at work and the sensations you are accustomed to in a regular car. The other pro is modulation and the ability to narrow your braking zones. Controlling the wheels at the point of lockup results in much shorter braking distances and better emergency braking when you need it. The other pro is the construction. Using the exact mounting parts of the G25 or G27, this is a very easy bolt-on type upgrade. And lastly is compatibility. It worked the same as a G25 or G27 as far as gains recognizing it. It just worked differently once out on the track. As you can see, the Perfect Pedal is a whole new approach to braking. And on the rev scale, I give it a 9 out of 10, with its only real flaw being the cost. And I'm sure most people would agree that it is a questionable amount of money. But I think back to my days of karting, and if someone had said, "Hey Shaun, for $250 I can shave a noticeable amount of time off your lap times, are you interested?" Well, it's a no-brainer for me. The answer would have been, would you like cash, check, or Visa?
So there you guys have it. If you're interested in getting one of these, head on over to perfectpedal.com and tell them Inside Sim Racing sent you. Till then, I'm Jessica Lopez. The checker flag is out, and so are we.